Smack. Welcome back to Super Smack, the podcast from the fans, for the fans, the Super Rugby podcast anyway.
Yeah, you almost screwed that one up.
I know, what? It caught me off guard.
I thought you were like, I was like, what's he going to say? You were like, from the floor of the...
Into round 4.
Yeah, round 4. We are the fans, Gareth and Ra.
That's us.
Chiefs and Hurricanes.
Wow.
Some people are a little happier than others at this point in the season. But, yeah, I mean, an interesting round.
Well, the round for the underdogs, I reckon.
It was a round for the underdogs. From my perspective, a little bit of a disappointing round in terms of watching. Although I had a lovely time at the Blues Brumbies on Friday night, I got to say.
What do you mean? Because the Blues lost?
No, I just think some of the games last week were so exciting, right? We've been treated to some real champagne rugby.
Absolutely.
These games are great, but there was a lot of sloppiness that was still hanging around a few teams. Don't you start. That's still hanging around certain teams that you go, okay, where's this going? Blues Brumbies Friday night was great. You know what wasn't great?
What?
Nobody bloody turned up, mate.
Again?
There was hardly anybody there at Eden Park.
Wow.
And
what
I'm
else
just
was
going,
on?
I'm going, firstly, don't disrespect the Brumbies, because look what happened. And find a way to get them along like they did in Hamilton. Find a way, because there's nobody there, and halftime entertainment is just a bunch of schoolgirls running up and down the field in a running race. And
Well,
I'm going,
you were there, man.
Come on.
You were there.
Well, I've
supporting
got
your
season
adopted
tickets.
team.
No, I just enjoy going to some live rugby in the Tamaki.
You quite like the Blues now, though, eh?
Well, I don't, because they're still mud, mate. And they did the classic Blues, mate. They're falling asleep in the second half. It's a little bit concerning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what we can agree on with the Blues was that old Beaudy came out and had a very, very good game for them at 10. It was nice to see him back in that 10 jersey. First time he's played there since 2013, apparently, for the Blues.
Really?
Obviously, all years away.
Well, you mean, really? First time he started there?
First time he started, 2023. Yes, first time he started there for a long, long time. Mate, he made a difference.
Yeah, he did make a difference. He obviously scored that amazing try. It was a classic Beaudy try. And just marshaled everybody around the field. The goal kicking, I will admit, was...
Mate.
Weird.
It
wasn't just bad.
He didn't have his tea. He's accidentally picked up Harry Plummer's tea. And it's like one of those old like road cone things, like the old kind of ones you had in PE at high school. And he's like, it's just been cut on an angle.
Don't they just have the same? I guess they just kick off. Does a kicker have his own sort of style of tea?
He must.
I guess they do, right?
Well, Beaudy was like kicking so far away from the post. They could have put a post next to the post and he still wouldn't have got it.
Huge shanks.
Absolute shanks. And not just one. Like it was 3 absolute debacle of kicks.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But when he went off with his, what has now been, we're being told is a fractured hand. Oh. It's the purple one, mate.
That one.
News. We've been doing this for a few weeks now, and we still can't quite work out what's on what pad.
Beaudy's injured.
He's injured, mate, and it made a big difference because I don't know. Well, here's my theory.
What?
Plummer's checked out, mate.
What's happened?
He's on Duolingo on the sideline.
Yeah,
and in the changing rooms learning French.
French. Oh, he's learning French. Oh, he's on his way. Yeah, of course.
And he has checked out because as soon as Beaudy came off, I mean, look, the Brumbies picked up a bit. Maybe the whole team, you could say, fell away a bit, but there was a noticeable difference in terms of the leadership around the field. And I was like, what's going on? Where's Plummer?
Yeah.
Where's the man from last season that basically dominated everybody?
He's doing that thing that Sean Stevenson did. He had a blinder of a 2023 season, like demanded a All Blacks jersey shooter.
Oh.
And then he came back last year and he just didn't fire. Everyone was calling for him to be in the team off Super Rugby form. He didn't make it, and then he had an absolute dud of a 2024 season.
Is it fair to say then, with both those players, that the common factor is that they know they're not going to get into the All Blacks?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that these players are deliberately switching off. I'm not saying that. I'm not calling into question their credibility, but it's just interesting to note that in a team that has hardly changed since last year, you just go, you guys have got all the ingredients still. What's happening? Like, why are you not able to string it together?
Well, maybe Harry Plummer's got a bit of a chance to step up now that Beaudy's going to be gone for a little bit. Because what do you reckon? A few weeks?
Yeah, I think he has to. Well, at least
it's a broken bone. Yeah,
he's going to be gutted.
Oh, is he?
Well, I'm wondering whether he's going to be more gutted that he's going to miss a few games or whether he's just going to miss golf.
Oh, mate, yeah, he's probably booked in a few tee times at some various respectable establishments.
He's probably got a few cancellations. He has to make it Te Aro Links.
Yeah, Wairaki. He's probably been invited onto the Michael Hill personal golf course.
And he has to go, sorry, Michael, I can't
Michael,
come.
Yeah, or he's just going to take some Voltaren and just go play anyway.
Yeah, and extend the amount of time that he has to sit off the sideline.
He'd probably rather be playing golf.
Actually, these days,
he loves it. He's even playing with Hannah.
What?
He's playing with Hannah. He takes... Oh, bless you, mate.
Excuse me, mate.
Got a bit of the flu.
Yeah, a little bit of the flu,
South American or...
No, just, it's just come on all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah. But there is a nasty strain going around apparently from that side of the world at the moment.
What's that? The Colombian side? Poor old Beaudy, yeah, he's gonna have to ring up those golf courses and cancel a few of those tee times, which I can't imagine is a cheap thing.
Well, no, I mean, mate, he gets it for free.
You reckon?
Oh, of course.
They love him. They love him to be there.
You don't think Bowden Barrett's going up because he's quite prolific on the old socials.
Yeah.
I reckon he does a few posts and they give him an honorary membership up at Te Aro.
Yeah, true.
Surely they do.
Well, everyone else is going to be. He plays with Albie quite a bit. He plays with D-Mac quite a bit. His brother. Well, his brother won't be playing. Yeah, he'll be playing. He's still overseas, isn't he?
He is. Playing for the Irish now.
Yeah.
Could be. Might not see him again.
Well, while we're on the Blues Brumbies, there's one player that really stood out for me in that game. In the absence of Satutu, who's obviously in other news has been banned for 3 weeks for his red card offence last week.
Yeah.
But Suafour had a blinder.
Mate, and actually, Beaudy called it. They asked him at the very beginning of the season who he thinks his standout player for the Blues is going to be this year, and he said Suafour. And so it's interesting that he's been given this opportunity. I mean, terrible for Hoskins.
Do you reckon Hoskins is in like a little Super Rugby jail somewhere? Yeah. He's there with Daniel Leonard-Brown. They're just sitting there in jail.
Yeah.
What do you reckon they do?
Yeah.
What do they talk about?
I reckon they're mistakes. They reflect. They go. I probably should have come in lower.
Yeah. No. Next time I'm gonna try and get a little bit lower and maybe try a little bit harder to wrap my arms.
And sometimes when they're just all there lying over the ruck, you just want to fly over it. You just want to see how far over it you can get.
This is a lot of pressure.
Yeah. It's really hard not to just launch over these. I don't know what voice I'm doing. It's really weird.
Where do you reckon the jail
not to
is?
Just launch.
Where's the Super Rugby jail?
It's just out the back of Paremoremo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually its own wing.
I reckon it's on the coast. It's on the beach somewhere.
What? Like Muruwai?
Yeah.
Overlooking?
Yeah. It's like an eagle's nest. Overlooking the water somewhere. It's beautiful. It's got like a hot, cold room.
But Bodie's probably hooked one up at Cody Cliffs.
Yeah, totally.
And gone, hey, so I've got a couple of mates that have just done a couple of naughties on the field.
They just need a little time out.
Do you mind if they come up to one of your...
It's a bit of R&R.
Yeah, one of your master suites?
Certainly, Bowden.
Certainly, Mr. Barrett.
Rico Ioane, he scored his first try in the last decade. Finally got to 50.
Now, here's an interesting thing. Because you see him when he's on the end of a well-run backline by a guy like Bowden, when things are working well, and you go, he's still got electric pace. He's got a totally got an ability to distribute. If you watch the opening game of the 2023 World Cup against France, he was fantastic in that. The closing game, I was watching the Irish game where we beat them in the quarterfinal. He's totally got all the ability to do this. I just don't think we can write him off. I think he's still the 13 for the All Blacks at this point.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's interesting. I don't know, mate.
There is so much depth in the centres for us. And
I just feel...
And Rico just can't do it, mate.
And
he's floundering.
I've got no real bias. I've got no real reason to support the guy except that he brings, I believe, more than just that. He brings a leadership to the team. There's something... He's got the ability. I think he just needs to be part of a well-functioning...
We'll chuck him on the wing then.
You reckon?
He actually played well on the wing, and then as soon as we brought him into the centres, he's just been up to fuck all. Like, he doesn't break the advantage line. He's not great on defence. Like, he's good, he's passable, but he's just not a great player in the centres.
So who do you put in at 13 now if the All Blacks are picked tomorrow?
What? There's 15 of them that you could put in there, mate.
I just don't know if you...
Tavanawai, you could put in Anton and
I just don't know if you would. I mean, Albie, of course.
You put in Proctor.
Yeah, but I'm specifically in 13.
Umunga Jensen.
You said the other day that he's shit.
Mate, he is a bit.
Mate, he's all right. But you're naming a bunch of 12s there apart from Albie.
Yeah, but it's the same position though, isn't it, really?
But it's not like, let's talk about owning that particular jersey. I think 12s is up, obviously, for a massive
But any one of those guys would play 13 for the All Blacks.
I guess they could. Well, I don't know if they could.
Yeah, well, Geordie Barrett's probably got the 12 jersey wrapped up, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, why doesn't Geordie Barrett play 13? Like, what's the fundamental difference there? Well, maybe he just doesn't like the number.
Yeah.
They actually offered it to him and he went, unlucky. Don't want it. Don't give me 12. And then just walked out.
Another like last minute victory as well. There's been so often this season that we've had a victory in that last little minute or two.
Poor Paddy Tuipulotu gave up the penalty, and it was like right in front. It was a sitter, and you just went, "Oh, mate," because I don't like it when he does things wrong. Because he seems like you're just like, "Oh, Paddy,
he's a nice guy,
yeah, lovely guy." You feel sorry for him. Whereas some other people, you're like, "Yeah, you little fuck."
Do you reckon you'd be good mates with Paddy?
I've saw him down at Geeks on Sainsbury.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he live
I think he must live around the area. Dan Musgrove and I are down there having a little, a bit on our fourth flat white.
Did you say hello?
Nah, I got scared.
He is a big fella.
He's huge. He was there with his lovely partner and child, and I didn't really want to interrupt their family time by just going up and going, "Hey, mate, you probably should try and not give those penalties away."
If you wanted to hang out with Paddy, if you wanted to just walk up to him and you just wanted him to want to hang out with you, like how would you start that conversation?
I think I'd go, do you know what I'd do? I think I'd accidentally spill something on him. I think I'd go, I'd like a bit of milk or something, like not hot liquids.
Not like oat milk.
I wouldn't get hot liquids.
Not dairy.
No.
No one wants dairy on their shorts,
maybe
mate.
not dairy either. Okay, maybe just a little bit of water that they serve. They always give you a little water. I'd go, oh shit, oh fuck, sorry mate. And then I'd grab the napkin, and I guess if it wasn't too wet, I'd just start dabbing wherever the water was, and he'd probably go, oh, it's all right mate, I got it. And I'd go, oh, hey, how you been?
How you been? And then what does he say?
He goes, he'll be patting himself. He's going, good man, good. Yeah, how are you? And I'll go, no, I've been all right, eh? I mean, things have been a little tough, but
things have been a little tough.
But I'm really enjoying the rugby and what you guys are doing over at the Blues. And got season tickets this year actually, and I've been really enjoying that. I'm a Hurricanes fan, of course, and that's when he just goes, get the fuck out.
So okay, yeah. So you're not in. You're not in with him.
He goes, get the fuck out, and I go, and I'm actually genuinely shocked. I go, what? And he goes, get the fuck away from me and my family. And I go, dude, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, you've crossed the line. Don't ever bring up the Hurricanes or any other team other than the Blues around me ever again. And I'll go, cool, man. I'm sorry about the water. Bye.
So you're not going to be friends with Paddy? Yeah, fair enough.
I guess not, according to that.
Jeez, that sounds awkward.
It sounds awful.
It sounds awful.
I'm feeling awful having just played out that fantasy in my head. Oh, speaking of fantasy.
Oh, mate, yeah.
How did you go?
Not very well. You know what? Like,
how many points did you get?
A couple of hundred. Like, no, I mean, it didn't do...
Only a couple of hundred?
Yeah, it didn't do...
Mate.
Yeah, I know.
I still got 400 and something, I think.
No. I had an absolute mare. Again, I tried. But you know what? I mean, the Chiefs didn't do so well, as we will get to. And I loaded my team with as many Chiefs as I could. And obviously had really rested on...
Rookie mistake.
Really rested on D-Mac being my captain for the first 3 rounds.
Well, what does that say, mate?
It says that he's a really fucking good player.
It says you got cocky, and then that's all you have. and that you should
in terms
probably
of fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, you should vary it up a little bit, mate.
Yeah,
I think the point of fantasy.
I tried to vary it up with the Hurricanes, mate. I had Godfrey in there. I had Peter Luck.
I haven't played a lot of fantasy, but I imagine that the idea of it is that you should try and have as many players from different teams as possible, right?
Yeah. Well,
Putting all your eggs in one basket if they have a shocker.
Mate, you can't anyway. I see where you're going there, but also you can't do that physically with the fantasy league.
What?
You can only have 4 players from each team, right?
Oh, can you only?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know that.
No, you can only
but
have a
that's
certain
because
amount of
I
players.
already was playing it in the way that it's
spreading.
supposed to be. And I didn't even get that warning come up, because I'm not the sycophantic like,
You like having your fingers. You like having your fingers and lots of pies, mate. You love having your fingers and lots of pies.
Especially a hot apple.
Hot apple.
A hot Bramley apple from McDonald's.
Hey, we've got some more news actually.
Have we? News.
Hurricanes at the bottom of the table.
Fuck off. That's not news. It's not newsworthy.
At the bottom of the table, mate.
It's not.
And you know what I love? You know what I absolutely love? The 3 weeks in a row, you have talked absolute
Here we
smack
go.
about your upcoming opposition, and each one of them have wiped their ass with you, mate.
Yep, they've
They
wiped
really
their ass
have.
with that horrible yellow shirt, so the poo really comes up on
Oh,
it.
yeah. Speaking of, just before we move on, the Force played in the Hurricanes jersey
They did,
again.
and it
looks
and
better
it looks
than
better, mate.
it looks better than
Yeah.
the Hurricanes jersey.
I know. Just to add insult to injury, it looks better. They lost as well, so maybe there's something with the yellow jersey.
They
generally.
definitely lost, the Hurricanes. They lost everything. They lost their mana. They lost their integrity.
Up. Oh, ease up, mate. They're just having a little bit of a speed bump. They're just a bit of a wobble.
Mate.
They're gonna go. We need to wake up. And
You've
sort
talked a lot
ourselves."
about rot in the last wee while, and some of us might have a little bit of water damage, but you have some serious, you've got borer, you've got termites or something in there. There's maggots running
We've got
around in the wood of
asbestos.
your team.
I've got asbestos,
You've
and
got
it
bad
is
asbestos.
well exposed.
You need to do something.
There's
mate.
no painting over this. Well, the Hurricanes. Look, the Hurricanes are certainly in trouble in terms of whatever their gameplay is, because I don't know what the hell it is. What it is, it's a bunch of brilliant individuals. The ones that are left, mind you,
As a
because we
couple,
have
yeah.
lost a lot, which explains why they are where they are. It's probably the biggest shift of all the teams, I would say. Is it fair to say that?
Yeah, I've been
They've
I've been
lost-
trying to wake you up to that for a wee while,
Mate,
but
I've been awake to it, but I still back my boys to get the job done, because there's some bloody great rugby players in there. They're just not stringing it together as a team. That was blatantly obvious in the game yesterday. The defence is all over the show. And when you're playing, I guess that plays into the hands of teams like Moana, because they love picking you apart.
who
It's just-
had an amazing game.
They did have an amazing game.
You can't take anything away
I'm
from
not
them.
I'm not taking anything away. And Artie was loving it, and clearly because it was against his old team as well,
He
so it
had
was a
good
bit
time.
special.
He had a good time. I heard them singing in the changing room afterwards. Wow, they were on cloud nine, man.
There was no hurricanes.
No. Albany didn't know what hit them.
No. In fact, if there was any game that they were the Kins, it was that one. The
Yes.
old Kins didn't perform.
Whangalangi Miracle, he had a really good game.
Well,
He scored a hat
there
trick.
were three separate miracles.
3 miracles, yeah.
God came down and said, "Oh, not one, not two, but 3 tries you shall have, you
And-
shall receive."
Ex-Hurricane, Garden Bishop was left on the bench.
That's interesting, and we'll obviously get to talking about. I'll get to talking about his replacement later. But I mean, what's going on there,
Well, Pellegrini had a
Pellegrini
he
was
took his opportunity.
mate? Did he? What? He was amazing.
What do you think is happening with Garden Bishop?
What do you mean?
Well,
He's still there, mate.
I know,
He was just on the bench.
but he's not like he
Probably should be playing for the Hurricanes.
He was playing. He had a really good season for the Hurricanes last year. He did. He was really solid for that team, and they were top of the table for most of the season last year. Hardly lost the game.
It wasn't really him, mate.
I feel like he's a little bit out of sorts, a little bit out of shape. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, there's something going on there.
You actually think he's physically out of shape?
A little bit, yeah.
Like, He does look.
I don't mean to like.
He
I don't
does
mean
look
to-
a little tubby.
He does just a little bit, like when you compare him to any other back in professional Super Rugby,
yeah.
he's got more of a build of like a loose forward or like a prop or.
Yeah, would they make a first five deliberately pack it on? Like, does he need to be?
I guess he run at the line a little bit.
I guess he needs to absorb that, but he was never like a tiny dude.
He's not like his build sort of like Mackenzie or Barrett or anything.
Yeah,
like
I think his build is just like he's just a bigger dude. But he's saying maybe he's lost a little bit of pace.
I don't know. I don't know whether. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Lovely big legs.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got the talent. Like, there's no. He showed that last year, but we haven't really seen it enough this year. I don't know. I just wonder whether there's got something going on with him at the moment.
Well, maybe he's just into the lollies,
into the sweets.
I think maybe he's got a peanut slab addiction or something.
I love the sweets.
Apparently, someone said there's 500 calories in a peanut slab. Is that true?
Well, probably.
Well, there's the thing. He's probably going to the BP after every training.
Peanut slab too. I'm with him. I love a peanut slab.
Well, you better be careful, mate, because you're probably prone to packing on a few.
Mate, I am. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you look nice at the moment, though.
Thank you. But, I mean, if I put on that jersey, I'd probably,
Well, like we said, the lovies would be coming out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't look like a first five at all.
Yeah. But I mean, I've certainly got lovies at the moment. You could hold on at 300 kilometres an hour to these things.
Oh, God. But you didn't even get a bonus point, mate. I'm really disappointed in the Hurricanes.
Yeah, all right. Why don't you just slit my throat now, mate, and order the funeral service
just saying,
for next
Matt,
week?
So next week...
Put me out of my misery.
But you do have a team next week, which I'm actually really excited about you facing. And that's the
Second division winners. The Highlanders.
The Highlanders. So basically, the last few weeks, you've talked absolute smack about the teams coming up. So what do you say about the Hurricanes?
We've talked absolute smack about the Highlanders. Don't just put that on me.
Yes, but we've also talked good things about the Highlanders in recent weeks because they've had a good couple of games.
Well, they have so far.
But how are you feeling about this matchup coming into next week?
Absolutely confident. Not going to be a problem. It's going to be a close fought match, but I think.
So you're treating your opposition with a bit more respect this week.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I treat every opposition with the respect that they're due.
Have you tried on the Highlanders jersey yet?
No, and I never will. I never will, mate.
If you lose next week, will you wear the Highlanders jersey on the podcast?
No.
You won't?
No, mate.
Why not?
I'd rather put my dick in a piece of Molenbeek.
What?
I'd rather put my dick in a piece of Molenbeek and put sauce on it and show it to Jazz.
Okay. Fair enough. So you're not going to wear the Highlanders jersey next weekend if you lose?
We're not going to lose,
Just a
mate.
little challenge.
We're not going to lose. We've got everything we need to win. So yeah, I'll take the challenge.
You will?
Yeah.
So if you lose to the Highlanders, next week's podcast, you'll be wearing a Highlanders jersey.
Yeah, but it's just not going to happen. There's no need to do it.
You want to shake on that?
Not particularly.
Come on, mate. Love it. Oh yeah. We'll get. I'll get a couple of options for you. Actually,
okay. We're going to be bouncing back. We're going to have a big wake up call after that Moana game. We're going to go down there. We're going to get back to our old ways. Roy Guard's going to marshal us around. One of our 4 captains will take the lead.
Yeah. Maybe this is the issue. Maybe you just got too many captains.
It is, mate.
Is it a leadership issue?
Shit. It fucking must be. I reckon. We said this right at the start. You can't have guys looking to different people for different bits, and it's inspiration. You know, when things are not going your way on the field after 20 minutes, you go, we have to regroup. You got to know. I feel you just got to know who's got that plan, who knows how to get them out of this tight spot. And Karifi, I mean, Shields is great, it's there, but Karifi wasn't even in the starting team.
Yeah.
Roy Guard wasn't even in the starting team.
Showed a little disrespect for the Moana Pacifica team by not having Cam Roygaard and Karifi starting.
I think so. In some way, I just go, why weren't you? We're already low in player stocks in terms of our top tier. Play the fucking guys, for crying out loud. And not just because they're in my fantasy.
Yeah.
But play them, out of respect for Moana, but also just play them so that we can be guaranteed to win
a game. You're bottom of the table.
Are we actually sitting right at the bottom?
Yeah, because the Crusaders just had an absolute blinder against the Reds.
Yeah, did they? What?
Oh, my.
They're back to the winning ways.
Well, we talked about this just briefly before we push record on this podcast. The Crusaders had a week off last week.
Yeah.
And they've come back this week and absolutely murdered the Reds. 5 tries in the first half.
2 to Jordan, 2 to Reese.
Yeah, and 1 to Cullen Grace at the start of the game. Amazing. And absolute, 2025 has been the season of close games, last minute wins, but that is an absolute pace thing.
Well, that's a good old go down to Christchurch and get smashed by the Crusaders victory. It's classic.
They've awoken something from the old Crusaders team.
Well, what have they been up to, do you think?
I think in the week off they've done something. I think they've done like a ayahuasca experience or something. Well, I think because ayahuasca is it's all about like forgiveness, right? So you forgive your past mistakes, and I think what they've done is they've gone up to
the Canterbury foothills, or
maybe up to Golden Bay or something, up to Port Harbour Beach, and they've lit a bonfire. They've all had a little bit of ayahuasca and just had a little ceremony.
Tops off.
Absolutely. Yeah, probably maybe full nude, some of them.
Yeah.
And they've just had a lovely wee experience forgiving last year's performances.
Because ayahuasca is the one where you actually physically have to vomit everything up, right? It induces a big vomiting reaction. So they're literally regurgitating.
They've got rid of 2024, and they've really awoken as a new team again, and they've really remembered the things that they. I mean, you look at what Reese and Jordan did in the first half of that game, and it takes you back.
They've atoned for their sins.
Absolutely, it takes you back to 2023, 2022. You know, the Robertson era. Well, we called it early at the start of the season. They bounced back with a loss, but I think against the unbeaten Reds, I know that we haven't seen much of them, but against the unbeaten Reds, they really made a statement this week.
I think so, and it does certainly set the bar in terms of where the teams probably are going to be at moving forward. I mean, there are some great. The Australian teams have really come a long way, but I think ultimately at the end of the competition, it's going to be New Zealand dominated again.
I think we're going to have an Australian team in the final.
Oh, in the final,
I think so. From what we've seen, I reckon. Well, it could be the Waratahs are good. They're putting their hand up
in the final.
Yeah, mate. They've got a good team.
They do have a good team.
And remember, Su'Alili's still got a sore toe. He wasn't even there.
That's that mate.
He's the golden boy. He's the golden boy of Australian rugby.
He wasn't even there. He wasn't even playing.
No.
Yeah.
No, wasn't even there.
Was Jordan playing fullback?
Yeah. He's lovely, isn't he?
He is cementing that.
He is quick.
He's quick. He's spicy.
Oh, man. When he breaks the line, he's so silky. And he runs real upright. He reminds me of an old Beaudy, actually. Remember when Beaudy used to look like a robot when he was running?
Used to run like the T-1000 from the Terminator.
That's right.
From Terminator 2. He had this weird thing where he's like, his little arms kind of go and he accelerates at some crazy rate.
It's like his whole spine had been fused and he was just like, hit a rod going up. It was like
To Beaudy, the ball is John Connor. And if he kicks the ball ahead, he basically is just like, John, I'm coming for you.
Ben O'Keefe was refereeing the Crusaders Reds game.
Did he ever?
A couple of weeks ago, mate. I had a silly comment, and I told everyone that he got steps. But
you did, and I tend to be honest, I was shocked at the time.
And now that it's grown out a bit, he's just got a wee grey streak.
It's just grey hair, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just got a little Cruella de Vil grey streak.
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah. So
you're going to apologise?
Apologies.
Apologise.
I'm sorry, mate.
To Ben for that.
I hope you feel good about that grey streak because I think it looks really cool, mate.
It does look really nice.
I think it looks awesome.
And, that'll be the stress.
You reckon? Just in that game. One spot?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
That's the way the wind blows. Like, when you're stressed and that's his favourable side.
Is that why you've got a little grey on the side there, mate?
Man, I don't have grey. My hair is beautifully blonde.
It's quite white on the side there, though.
Yeah, but that's just always has been like that since I was a child.
So you've been stressed since you were a child?
About a few things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. Anything you want to bring up now?
Mostly the Hurricanes.
Okay, yeah, right.
It's kind of notoriously been a stressful team to follow, as you well know.
Yeah.
Except for that one beautiful year we won the competition.
2015, was it?
Oh,
something like that.
Yes.
Decade
2016, actually.
Or 9 years ago.
2015 was when the Highlanders pipped us in the final.
That's right.
I was there.
Well, you might be able to get some of those feelings next week.
I don't think so.
Drua played the Chiefs in Fiji, and my lovely team, they had a little stumble.
Well, they fucked up, didn't they?
They did
fucked
a little
up. What happened, mate? I thought you guys were sort of top of the table. You're supposed to dispatch a team like the Drua pretty easily, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean,
a team sheet like yours.
We all know that it's tricky in Fiji when you're actually playing in Fiji.
Yeah, it is.
It was sloppy. It was wet.
Lovely accommodation.
It was messy. Yeah. I put it down to the humidity. It made the ball too much wet.
Excuse me?
The humidity.
The humidity.
Yeah. It just made the ball too much wet.
In the wise words of
Aaron Smith,
legend Aaron Nuggy Smith.
Yeah, Nuggy Smith.
Humidity made the ball too much
The conditions
wet.
did not favour us. And to be fair, really favoured a Fijian team that were they love that loose play.
I mean, they are hugely successful in Fiji. Never won outside of Fiji, but they win a lot against top teams, mate. I think, apart from the fact that the Chiefs kind of sucked a little bit, which was glorious to see, I reckon they were pissed off the Drua for being locked in the back of that truck.
What? What do you mean?
Have you not seen them?
No. What is going on? Tell me the story,
mate. They had to catch their shuttle or something, or their van wasn't available, so they threw them in the back of a truck.
What, in
to
Fiji?
Transport them from? No, it was somewhere else, wherever they were playing the Hurricanes. It was in Napier. And so they put them in the back of a truck like John Candy. Like John Candy and Kevin's mum in Home Alone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. People were really angry about it. They got treated really badly. They put in the back of a truck. They were staying in the same hotel as the Hurricanes, apparently. The Hurricanes got to have the run of the place and they basically asked the Drua to check out early. They were like, "You got to leave, please." It was real weird.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on?
But I reckon they've gone, fuck yeah. We're going to show that we're actually a proper team in this competition that will not be put in the back of a 3-ton Mitsubishi.
Well, you know who said fuck you? Glen Jackson.
He did.
He pulled the fingers on live TV. I don't know.
Who?
I don't
was
know.
He so? Was he? Hang on. Was he angry pulling the fingers like fuck, or was he just
in his
like
hand,
a naughty kid?
He had something in his hand. And I think it might have been a phone or a microphone or something. And he was just fucking giving it that. And he looked
at the camera.
No, I think I don't know. I think it might have been just a badly timed cutaway.
Yeah. Why was he pulling it? Did he have a bet at home or something?
It felt like he was pulling the fingers at me. It's what it felt like.
But I got to say, he's done incredibly well, and how fitting to win against
the Chiefs,
his old team.
And you know what? What better way to make a play for the Chiefs coaching position?
He actually could, couldn't he? Could he?
Yeah. Why not?
He'd be great.
Well, unless he's under contract with the Drua for a couple more years.
Bring the blue-eyed boy back to Kirikiriroa.
Oh, I reckon. Unless Roger Randall's going to pip him to the post.
Wow.
Let's hope not.
Really?
I don't know.
Would Roger Randall be any good? I think Glen Jackson, that's perfect. Maybe that's kind of his play all along. Him and Clayton probably go out for a few beers, and Clayton's gone, look, I'm going to head off. I've never been able to do anything of note with this team. I'm just going to sort of call it.
Just a couple of finals.
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. And then Glenn goes, not really ahead, but yeah, no, I understand. You got to go and do what you got to do. And so Glenn's going, well, I could come and and actually make them win a competition. That would be cool. Because it's been a while.
It's been a while, mate.
But
2030.
Mate, I'm not surprised. It's hard going over there and playing the Drua, so it's all good, mate. I'm sure.
Good.
Who are you playing next week?
You know what, mate? What we did is we walked away with a bonus point, which was nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's more than what
I don't know what that feels like.
It's more than what the Hurricanes are able to do, being in last place now. But you know what? Also, I think we're a victim of maybe relying a little bit too heavily on DMAC. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Because we really have leaned on it.
Yeah, I don't think he knew what the hell to do.
To be fair, those conditions he would have run rampant there. With that broken play, he would have run rings around everyone, all 29 other players.
But mate, if he remains injured or decides that he just can't be bothered playing rugby for the rest of the season,
well, he's probably going to take Beaudy's tea times.
Yeah, he could, he can, because he's just got a little
fine.
dicky knee. That's all right. You can still swing through that.
Totally.
What are you going to do, mate? Seriously? Is this? Where it all starts to fall apart for you?
No, I don't think so, mate.
Are you sure?
Nah.
Are you sure?
You know what? If there's one team that I would give the little stumbling block points to, it's the Drua. I think they deserve it.
You'd rather lose to them than...
I'd rather give them to you, mate. You'd rather give them to the Drua than you, or the Crusaders, or the Highlanders.
Perfectly reasonable
to
the Crusaders. Nobody wants to lose to the Crusaders.
No.
We make it our joint effort to never lose to them.
If we're going to lose one game this season, and we might lose more, but if we're going to lose one game, I'm glad that it was the one to the Fijian Drua in Fiji.
We lost to the Crusaders.
Yeah, you did.
But we beat the Drua. But we beat them, mate. A win's a win.
Have they won away from Fiji?
Who?
The Drua.
No.
They still haven't, have they?
No, they haven't. And it's kind of a bit of a hoodoo. It's weird. They really turn it on in Fiji. They're just a different team.
Well, that's the home advantage.
But they need to maybe work on.
We talked about them not having a complete game, and same with Moana Pacifica. Actually, we talked about how they couldn't string it together. You still got that Colombian flu, mate.
Yeah.
We talked about how they couldn't string it together, and both of those teams really turned it on this week and cleaned both of our teams up.
Yep. And it's good. I mean, how fitting that the Pacifica Festival was on in Auckland this weekend too.
Yeah. Hey, where's the advertising? I didn't even know. I love that festival.
The only reason I knew is I drove past and the traffic was all jammed up.
And we just talked to our producer Tim, and he just took the whole family. He had a great time. I'm gutted.
Get on down there.
Well, yeah, it's over now.
Yeah, I guess it.
You can't get on down there now.
Okay, don't get on down there.
No,
by the time this podcast goes out, it'll be well and truly back to Western Springs Park.
We needed someone to say get on down there. I didn't see one bit of advertising. I'm disappointed, Auckland Council, because that is a very good festival.
And if you want to get together with us, we could start promoting you on the show. So just reach out.
We're looking for a sponsor.
Should we do some awards?
Yeah, sure. Wanker of the week.
Starting off with the best one. Who's your wanker of the week, mate?
Fucking Glen Jackson.
Oh, what? For pulling the fingers at you?
Yeah. And for executing the perfect game plan against the Chiefs. Yep. What an absolute prick.
He knew.
What a grade A prick.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
You know what? Fuck you, Glen Jackson.
We can pull the fingers too, Glen Jackson. I reckon he had your number, mate. He knew exactly what he needed to do, and he's embarrassed you in front of the whole nation.
Blue-eyed bastard.
Yeah. Okay, you wanker. And then he's probably going to be coaching you next year, and you'll finally.
I'd love him then. As soon as he becomes a chief again, he's fine.
Of course, you're so sort of fair weather like that. You always sort of have been. Should we do another award? Oh, who's my wanker of the week? Moana Pacifica. Who is my wanker of the week? Do you know what? I don't really have one. Oh, here's a little tangent. My wanker of the week's Angus Gardner again, and not for the Super Rugby, but just because he's been playing poker again in the Six Nations and gave out about 7 cards. So I just want to say, chill out.
He's taken his velvet cards over to Europe.
He needs to chill out.
He does.
Yeah,
lovely man, but chill out.
Yeah, very
player of the day. Get on you, mate.
Always a favourite. Are we aligned on this one?
Well, I think so. My one comes from the Moana Pacifica Hurricanes game, and it's not going to be anyone from the Hurricanes, let's put it that way. Whaingalangi.
Oh, the miracle. The miracle man.
He scored a hat-trick. He deserves a little mention.
He well deserves that.
But I think an honourable mention goes to Pellegrini, who stepped in at first 5. And
well, he's my player of the day. Patrick Pellegrini. When a player gets injured or gets benched and you've got your turn to step up, you got to take it, and he did exactly that. He was instrumental. It was amazing. And he hasn't he's not a veteran. He's a new player. And he's playing. I guess it helps that he's playing against another relatively new player in Harry Godfrey. But I mean, he really moved that team around the paddock, and it was great to see.
Yeah, he had a bloody good game.
I'm hoping they keep him there and let him strut his stuff a bit more. No offense to Garden Bishop, but
yeah, I'm sure Garden Bishop will have his hit as well. But
just lay off of those peanut slabs, and maybe he can get back in there.
He will. He'll be there, mate. Yeah. He's a great player.
Oh God! You can't read
Most improved player.
It's very fine writing.
Have you got?
Mate,
do you need to get your eyesight
it's
checked?
Small writing.
Yeah, but do you need to get your eyesight checked? Because you don't just go like this. You sort of linger on it for quite a while.
Hey, mate. Bottom of the table. Fuck up.
Most improved. My most improved is Monsieur Baudin Barrett.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think
you think he's done enough to get him most improved?
Yeah, well, hear me out. I think the move, it's not just him, but Vern Cotter's decision, and I imagine his decision too, to move to 10 was paying off very, very well until he unfortunately fractured his hand. Plummer...
What hand is it, by the way?
I believe it's his... I think it's his right hand.
Is he right-handed?
I think so, because he's right. He kicks off his right, so he must be right.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
So it's his dominant hand. He might be playing Dead Man's Hand for a few weeks.
Unfortunately, he's going to have to be subbing out to the left for a few sessions.
Poor fella.
Oh well. I guess he can always use a fleshy or a glory hole.
Oh. Where do you find one of those in Auckland?
K Road.
Really?
Yeah, 189 to 201. K Road.
Really? What?
I don't know.
What's on the outside of that?
Oh, it's nothing. It's very
just on the bridge.
It's very discreet.
It's on the bridge.
Very discreet. Just before Coco's. No, I have no idea. But I'm sure you can find one, mate. Beaudy, just go searching. Yeah, all the best to him. But he was my most improved, and I think, how long is it going to be out now? But they should. My thing with him, I want him his last part of his career to be like Dan Carter's was. He's sort of gone a little bit off. People aren't sure about him. I want him to work his way back in, and by 2027, cement his role as 10 and guide us to a World Cup victory. That's my ideal plan in my head. So whenever I see that happening with him doing well at 10 for a team like the Blues, I'm like, that's Christmas.
Fair enough, mate.
You know I love him.
Yeah, you do. You really do love him.
I just think he's a great player for us, you know?
Mm.
And by us, I mean the Hurricanes. I wish he was playing for the Hurricanes.
I bet you do, mate. You're all at sea.
Yeah.
My most improved goes to the Crusaders as a franchise.
Oh, Jesus. Do we have to give the Crusaders an award at all?
Unfortunately, mate, they deserve it. They're the only New Zealand team to win this
True.
this round.
You have to, actually. You have to hand it to them.
And they not only won, they fucking creamed them.
They did classic Crusaders. So I guess that's enjoyable. It was an enjoyable Crusaders game to watch, because we know that some of them are not.
And it's a great advertisement for ayahuasca.
I reckon we should all do it.
Yeah, I think every team should on their bye week. It should be
it is illegal, but
is it?
Yeah, but you can't be doing ayahuasca.
I didn't realize it was.
Pretty sure.
But I think every team should be a compulsory thing for bye weeks.
I agree. I think if every team does ayahuasca, so you think the Highlanders have done ayahuasca in the bye week?
Hopefully,
probably a bit chilly down there, getting nude.
Go out to Adamoana. There'd be some lovely on the dunes there. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Finn Hurley can bat out a couple of John Farnham covers.
You watch out, mate. I reckon next week they're going to come off their trip, their ayahuasca experience, and just really, really bring you something.
So that we might need to try and get some ayahuasca to the first training head up for the Hurricanes.
I might actually try and get a game jersey for you to wear next week.
What do you mean a game jersey?
A jersey from the game.
From the game that will have just been played?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
I have my ways, mate.
Okay, if you can get a jersey from the game...
No, you're going to be wearing it if you lose no matter what, mate.
Wearing what? Where's the Highlanders jersey that you're getting?
Oh, I've got sources,
mate. I think I know where you might be getting it.
I've got at least two.
At least two people that are willing to see me put that on.
Oh, yeah.
What size is it?
Doesn't matter.
I might go to the gym this week.
Small. Just this week, do you reckon it's going to make a difference?
Oh, ease up, mate. I've started going for runs again.
Have you?
Oh, I'm getting a little bit podgy, mate.
A few beers last night, though, wasn't it?
Ooh. Yeah, I do some big sessions.
Looking forward to this week coming up.
Yep.
Obviously, we've got what I think is my favourite game of the round, which is going to be the Friday night battle between the Highlanders and the Hurricanes.
Yes, and
I'll be watching that with a very close eye because I just can't wait to see you.
I'll be watching it with a very close friend.
Who's that? Me.
No, Mr. Ryan O'Kane.
Oh, yeah.
But you also,
Yeah,
if you're here.
No, I'll be there.
We're going to watch it together, and I think, obviously, I think he'll be feeling quietly confident. I mean, the Highlanders have every right to feel confident the way the Hurricanes are playing, for sure. But I think the Hurricanes they need to turn it around, and I think this will be the game to do it. They got to. Otherwise, it's really, really going to go fucking downhill if it isn't already.
And the Highlanders will be looking forward to some momentum, a couple of wins under their belt, and they'll be wanting to forge on forward. They're in the top four. So it's a bottom of the table versus top four clash next week between those two teams. I wonder what the TAB says.
Oh, probably got the Hurricanes as favourites still.
You're flying up, mate. You
flying
are delusional.
My nose is leaking something chronic.
I know, you've got that South American flu.
Hey, the other big game, the Reds Waratahs is going to be awesome.
Yes, that will be a battle of the sort of inform Australian
It's going to be a
teams.
great test there, but also the Chiefs are playing the Blues again already.
I know, which is weird.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
But you've got them at home this time where you've dealt to them at Eden Park.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can... Is D-Mac going to be back for that?
Well, I think he will
Because I just want to know whether you're going to fall apart again or not.
Well, I mean, what I think is going to happen is even if D-Mac's not there, Stevenson had a little shift off the bench. I think he's actually going to be
He's going to start at 15.
Player. Maybe. If D-Mac's not there, he'll at least be on the bench. But I think you got to give him a couple of weeks to warm up.
Yeah. I think you might lose the next couple of games.
You think we might?
Yeah.
What makes you say that, mate?
I just feel you might.
You're just trying to plant that seed.
I'm just trying to plant a seed, any seed, really.
Well, whatever you're saying recently has been the opposite. You've been talking about how you're going to absolutely pace teams and
let's put that theory to the test.
All right. Sounds good. So I think
the fucking best.
Chiefs, Blues, Crusaders, Force. Yeah.
I mean, we don't really want to watch the Crusaders at all. It's nice to watch that game before because they were really putting on a show. But other than that, I sort of want to make sure I just steer well clear.
It's nice to see some of those All Blacks really punishing some tries.
That is lovely. We probably should finish up, shouldn't we? I think we've gone on a lot longer than that. I started the timer late.
Well, tune in. Tune in next week.
We love
you. Another series of wonderful games, I hope, next week. And next week, you'll probably be watching, if you do watch a couple of our clips on the socials, and also we've got some footage on YouTube of Gareth wearing a Highlanders jersey with any luck.
I'm not going to be wearing a Highlanders jersey, but please follow, subscribe, and listen in wherever you get your podcasts.
Ka kite anō.
See you later.
Uru.
Up the Canes.